Back to Cliff and Puck live from Radio Row in Atlanta for our exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 53. Brought to you by Zeke's Pizza, homegrown in the Northwest. On your one and only home for the NFL, Seattle's Sports Radio 950, KJR.
Welcome back to Radio Row. Cliff and Puck with you. Our coverage brought to you by Zeke's Pizza, also the Emerald Queen Casino. Sitting down with us here in our final segment, or second to final segment, Bruce Irvin, former Seahawks defensive end and linebacker, now with the Atlanta Falcons. With Atlanta, a free agent?
Free agent.
Mm-hmm. Want to come back to Seattle?
You know he wants to.
You can't just smile. You got to say yes or no. Just say yes. It's fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Okay, you wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind the opportunity at all.
Okay.
Nah, coming back to Seattle would be great, man. You still get back around Bobby. Hopefully they figure something out with KJ. Get the crew back together, man.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope, huh?
I think it would. It'd give me another person to hang out with. Selfishly, give me another one of my homies to hang out with.
Do you get – now this just happens with jersey numbers, right?
Mm.
But Cliff got real upset when he stepped away from playing that they gave his jersey out, like, immediately.
Right now? Like right now.
They gave it to Michael Kendrick. He came halfway through the season.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
Exactly,
that's
right?
That's bad, bro.
Exactly. But see, so –
Do you think what should you get, like a year?
At least the rest of that, like a whole year.
A whole year. That's what I was thinking, too. So,
whole
anyway, but to their defense, EK hit me up like, hey, we ran out of numbers.
Oh, he asked you.
We got to give you a number.
Well, that's not bad.
So, out of respect, they don't do that with everybody, so I appreciated it.
He got to go to 99 or something then. What you mean?
He said they ran out and said that all the numbers was taken up for linebackers and all that good stuff. So, I was like, you know what? Ain't nothing I could do, but I appreciate you hitting me up.
Do you remember who got 51 after he left?
Who got 50?
I know 51.
I remember.
Oh, do you?
I know who had it this year.
I know
Mingo
this year.
had it.
Terrence Garvin had it for a little bit.
Terrence Garvin did
Remember
have
Terrence
it.
Garvin?
Yes, he did.
I was in college with Terrence Garvin.
Did you?
Yeah, WVU, yep.
Okay, yeah, that's right. They did. So did.
Do you get? But is there a moment where you get hurt a little bit? Like,
yeah,
man.
it does. It does hurt. When I left the Raiders this year, though, they didn't get my number up for the rest of the year, so I was kind of pumped about that.
Well, I think once you're on the roster, they can't give it up that year anyway.
They
right?
can't?
Nah, they can't.
Okay.
You can't have 251s in one season. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, right.
You got jerseys.
Yeah,
right.
Sales and whatever. Okay, now that makes sense.
But man, I was geeked at first though. I was like, they even during camp they tried not to give anybody. So I was like, and then they did give somebody who was like, he probably ain't gonna
somebody
make
in
the squad.
2-4 now.
Yeah. How fast they forget you, bro.
Well, they gave that away like.
I think it went a year, though. It went a couple years.
We pleaded. We like guys on the team were like, look, man, Marshawn's not here. He's retired. Let's let that number sit at least 1 year. Like guys were going up to Coach Carroll and kind of doing that for them. And it kind of became a thing, kind of like for the guys that were, a core part of that.
Who's the player that you went up to and said just can give the jersey away right away?
We didn't have no say on that. But we were like, it was like, man, it's weird to see somebody else in '92. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we
right?
left. Yeah,
so there was a few guys. It was like, man, it's weird seeing somebody else in that number.
But if whoever in that 92 making plays, it's gonna make you forget fast,
real quick, right?
Hey, sooner than later.
And that's exactly what Michael Kendrick did too. He came in and made a couple plays. It's like, we like the old 56, but this 56 is pretty good too.
Right?
Doing all of that with a federal crime hanging over him,
making my number look bad,
that's
man.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But it's all good, though.
What happened in Oakland, like with Gruden, with everything? Because if you look at the beginning of the season, you're thinking that this is gonna work out.
Yeah,
this would be a good team. He's coming in. There's a good nucleus there, and then it just
and
right
before week one, hit you with the bang bang. We're gonna get rid of one of the best players in the NFL.
Yeah, I can't talk bad on him because we came to a mutual agreement, and he let me go. So I just think he runs it different. It's kind of his way or no way. But, that's every coach. It's just, to the extent that they go to. Gruden's a great guy. He's a great leader. He's been around. He's been away from the game for nine years now. So the game is different. You got millennial babies who put everything on Snapchat and Instagram nowadays.
They want to film everything in the locker room.
Yeah, so you got to be able to relate to those guys on that type of level. You can't come in and try to make guys practice, 3 hours.
Yeah,
like it's 98. Like millennials looking at you crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just you got to be able to adjust, with the time.
But when they made the Mac trade, was there like was there a carryover in the locker room? Like, what are we doing? Why are we trading him?
Yeah, that was hard. Like Cliff said, one of the top players in the league, and you trade him on the eve of the season. That's tough, But it is what it is. It ended up working out for Mac, So we're gonna see how good it worked out for Oakland with the draft picks come. So we shall see.
Man, yeah. So getting a coach like Gruden, everybody knows him. Everybody see him on TV, but then he signs his 10-year deal. And you as a player, right? Your coach, your head coach just got fired. Because I've been through having a coach, and then they get fired. They bring somebody else in. They come in trying to redirect everything, right? They want it their way. Like when you see the Gruden piece, and then he comes in that first day, like what's that interaction like? Is he has all that energy still?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He loves ball. He eats, sleep, and breathe football. He's a high energy guy. Always red. He's just got old school ways about him, and either you gonna be quiet and go with it, or you ain't gonna be there long. So, it's just all about who you are and what's your situation. So,
all right, free agency for you right now, right? It's basically you've been there once, I guess, when you left Seattle, but for the most part. I know for me, free agency was scary. That's why it was easy for me to sign an extension with Seattle because I didn't want to go through that process, moving your family and doing all these different things, right? Right now, the uncertainty piece for you, like how are you mentally staying into it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still a scary place to be when you just don't know where home is next year.
I just try not to think about it, man. That kind of stuff take care of itself, all I can worry about is what I did during the season. What I put on that film, and that type of stuff will take care of itself. So the biggest thing for me, man, is I came out healthy. I have a great family. So I can't complain, man. So.
Speaking of family, what was that sniff we talked about?
About go home make babies.
We played that. We played that on the show.
What was that? The London game?
Yeah, that's when we got the Seattle beat the brakes off us out there.
What did you say again?
They asked
I'm all good because I'm going to go home and make more babies.
I said I forgot something like I got a good thing. I got a beautiful wife. I'm gonna go home and make some babies.
Started working on making some babies.
Okay, that's my.
I took so much heat for that though.
Why? That was funny.
Did. I don't know, man. I guess because we lost and I said that.
But
we had been losing the whole season. It wasn't like that. It was that new. So.
You got to spend some type of laughter
you gotta
on it.
See some type of positive outlook on it.
That's the second best soundbite he ever had.
Yeah.
His number one soundbite.
I already know what you're going to say, I think.
It's the best one.
I know what you're going to say.
Where's Jimmy?
Oh, I thought you was going to say something else.
No, Bruce. Where's Jimmy? You remember this one
before
the Saints playoff
right
game?
Before we played.
And Jimmy Graham's out there. I don't know how it started, but you and Jimmy start getting into it.
I said, who's Jimmy?
Who's Jimmy?
Who's Jimmy?
I remember that. And I'm in the locker room. They like, Bruce and Jimmy Graham almost got to it. Like, yeah, we've been talking trash about you. And then the next year
he was on our team.
He was on our squad.
Did you guys have to have like a sit down breaking
bread?
Man,
it was good. It was good.
Yeah, once you sign up and you're back, you're on our squad. It's all love. We we know what it is.
Sure.
We know certain looks you're not gonna block us.
Yeah, right.
We already know what time it is, but we embrace them.
All right, what were you thinking of? Just don't swear.
No, I wasn't thinking. I was like,
no. What was the best soundbite from?
Oh, I was thinking of remember the cold game in Minnesota?
Yeah.
And Pete was in the locker room.
Okay.
After the game, he was like, "Can you win in the first quarter?"
Yeah.
We was like, "No." And he's like, "Can you win in the second quarter?" We was like, "No." He's like, "Can you win in the third quarter?" And I was like, no. That's what I thought you was about to say.
That did go viral. Yeah. No, that's we had some good times.
We did,
bro.
We definitely
and every time we all get together,
that's all we talk about.
And that's all we talk about is because we didn't realize. Well, I kind of knew it because I've been in other situations, but for other guys, most guys was there, and I used to tell guys in the locker room, like, look, man. The grass ain't green on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, no, man, I'm leaving, this, that, and the third.
You're right.
The grass is not – and then now everybody comes back together like, man, Cliff, you was right, bro. Like,
man, I was saying that, and I got to Oakland, I was like, what
was the first thing we talked about? We got on the phone. It was like, man, how Oakland, bro? He's like, bro, We fly Hawaiian
with no Wi-Fi.
With no Wi-Fi. I was rolling.
Man,
Hawaiian
dog.
Airlines.
That's crazy.
Like, ain't no first class. Like, we fly Hawaiian, bro.
Hawaiian, bro.
Oh, that's all bad. But, yeah, again, man, the grass is not green on the other side. Defensive ends. We again, we communicate about pass rushing. You send me film during the season, kind of showing out how athletic you are, which one of the most athletic D linemen I've ever seen. But who have you watched and who do you watch and cater your game around a little bit?
I don't say I cater my game around anybody, but I do watch a lot of film, and I played with this dude, K-Mac.
Yeah, beast.
Oh, he on a different level.
Yeah.
Like he is as advertised, bro, and much more, I promise you.
Oh, I know. I worked out with him.
I always say it's only two people that I ever played with that was just different.
Yeah.
And it's Khalil and it's Cam Chancellor, bro.
Yes.
Them two people,
Yeah.
like you just don't make those two people. Like they are really like God picked, and they're really special people.
God put them together, huh?
They definitely did. He put all this together, though, right?
Yeah, he put us all together.
He spent a little more time on them,
He spent a little more time on them, like, hey.
How do you think he decides that? Sorry, Cliff, Jason, you guys
Right?
are over here.
You guys good, but I'm gonna do a little extra on this guy right here.
We're going back to Seattle. Emotionally, when it came to the contract time and the situation, and then nothing ever came, and then you left. Were you hurt? Because you described how, I don't know if you'll ever reach a time where you had that much fun as a player professionally. So when that ended the way that it ended, hurt or, hey, business is a business, but
I was
emotionally
hurt.
did it bother you?
I was hurt, but also I understood that it was a business. I had guys like Cliff and Mike B to come in, and Me-Bane and Red Bryan, all those guys who helped me understand the business side of it. So, you can never get too high, you never get too low. Stay right in between, and stuff gonna happen.
That's hard though.
It's gonna happen. That's part of the game. It's what we signed up for. So I didn't take it. I didn't take it like it didn't offend me or anything. I just understood that their money were tied up in other places, and my time there was no longer. So I had great 4 years there, and like I said, I hopefully that wasn't the last time.
Well, you want to come back? Why do you want to come back?
Yeah.
Why do you want to come back to Seattle?
Man, it's just Norton.
Yeah.
Pete. Those guys, Snyder, those guys believed in me when nobody else did. I was a kid coming out the draft with red flags. I got locked up, 2 weeks before the draft, something like that, and those guys still took me in the first round. So, their loyalty with me my loyalty to them is unquestioned, and I wouldn't mind really going back up there and get another shot at it.
Do you expect to have conversations with them when you get free agency?
I would hope so. Me and Norton got a really strong relationship, so I'm sure we're gonna talk.
Yeah, that'd be great to have you back out there. And plus, not only the relationship with those guys, but that's also the first city that you experienced, you know what I'm saying, on the other side of really being broke. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. I became a man in that city.
It became a man, you made friends.
My son, so
just a lot of emotional ties.
A lot of great memories, a lot of ties to Seattle, so.
Yeah, I could definitely.
Fans in the environment, playing in that environment, you miss that?
Yeah, that's the environment was crazy.
So I was just about to ask you now for all the 12s that's listening, in comparison to Oakland and their fan base, because that's kind of the only.
Oakland got a crazy fan base too, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
They got some loyal fans, but
you feel bad for them. What's happening
for the city?
For the city,
I feel it's unfortunate. Because those fans love football. They love Oakland. Oakland hasn't had a lot of success. So,
it's been a while.
Lately, so those fans still die hard, be at every game. So, it's a messed up situation for them.
Organization-wise, night and day?
Night and day, brother.
By just how it's ran and facilities,
everything.
Top down.
Don't get me wrong, Oakland got nice facilities, but like you said, it's night and day.
Yeah.
What is it about you? You've talked about this before, Cliff, and we had Kyle Turley on, who was a former offensive lineman, who was much older than you guys, who had played in the NFL, was different. Coaches yelled, and they acted a different way. And I think there was the subject of Belichick came up and how Belichick runs things. Obviously, you have a great affinity for Pete Carroll. You kind of touched on it there. What is, I know what you have said on it. What is it like playing for Pete Carroll? Why do players like playing for him? What makes him a good coach from your perspective?
He's a player's coach. You come as you are. He's always say, come in here, you play the rap music, be yourself. Just stay off the ticker. Don't put the team in a negative spotlight, and just handle your business and have fun. So, I mean, you can't ask for that. When you wake up and you want to go to work, you enjoy being at work. You enjoy it because those days long. So when you enjoy being there, that's special, man. That's special because not everywhere where you enjoy, you be looking at that clock like, it was number 2:30. We still got to go to practice.
I promise you.
And there's no facility like that facility.
No,
when you staring out at the water.
No,
come on.
Definitely nothing that's staring at the water. But I agree with what you just said, man. Because my first 5 years, I literally would I'd be driving to work in Detroit and like, man, it's only 7 o'clock. I got till 5 o'clock. Yeah, no. But in Seattle, not one time did I feel like I was actually going to work. Like, I enjoyed going.
Yeah.
And it was and we all enjoyed actually being around each other.
For sure.
Whether it's, and Mike Holmgren brought this up when we used to be in Mo Kelly's small office and how we all used to be in there just, rapping, venting, doing whatever. And he come in there and, chop it. But, that's a real thing. And I think all that is why we were so good is because we, again, genuinely liked each other. I talk about this as well as how, me and you might be, we're planning a vacation trip right now.
Yeah.
That ain't something that just happens. You know what I mean? It's an actual friendship that we had. It's actual brotherhood that we had.
For sure.
And it was just something special.
I agree.
When you look back on your guys' time spent here, and then obviously with the team and with Seattle, and what helped you to deal with him? How did he help you? How did Cliff Avril help you when you came into the league?
Just how he worked. How he carried himself on and off the field. I admire how he respected his family, how he respected his wife and son. And Norton always told me when you living right off the field, your life on the field is gonna go as you want it. So that's kind of what I take from Cliff and Mike B. Strong family guys, come to work every day, and always took criticism, but always wanted to get better. So that's kind of what I took from him.
If you could play as long as Tom Brady in the NFL, would you actually start eating the avocado ice cream, which he eats?
I don't think I can eat avocado ice cream. I don't think
you ain't got it in you.
Nah,
you can't do it. You'd rather stop playing at 34.
Well, I don't know. If my wife was as rich as him, as rich as her, and I might try avocado ice cream.
For real though.
How do you sit back and shake your head that he's still doing it?
Yeah, that's crazy. At a high level that he's doing it at.
Yeah.
The guy still is 40. How old is he?
41.
41, and he's still a top 3, 4, 5 quarterback in this league. It's just crazy.
It's unreal, some of the stuff he's doing. Okay, let's talk about him as well. We played him in the Super Bowl. Have you played him since?
No, I only played him in that one.
That was the only
time.
time.
Oh no, I played him in Oakland my 1 year in Mexico. He beat the brakes off for us too.
What makes it from when you're getting at? What makes him so difficult?
He just get that ball out.
Yeah.
He's calling out your blitzes and he's just like he got a timer in his head. He feel when somebody about to sack him and he get the ball off. This is crazy.
Unreal, dog. It's unreal.
It
and then people like to hate. We've been talking about this all week too. People just like to hate, and that's the society we live in. That's Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. All you see is negative comments for whatever reason when people are doing well. But we aren't celebrating the greatness that we see in Tom Brady.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And it's weird because he's the MJ of basically our era, at least since we've been in the league.
Yeah,
if you want to put rings and all that stuff to it. I guess the turnover in the league and him being able to do it for so long. How do you what do you see from that standpoint? You know what I mean? Just respecting the greatness, I guess, more so than anything, right? For us. Because as athletes, I guess let me verbalize it a little better. As athletes, we all are good at what we do, but there's another level that we get to see.
Yeah, for sure.
And we seeing it right now. I mean, we got to appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. He's greatness. It may not be another person to come around this game again like Tom Brady. So, for I don't even see how somebody can hate on Tom Brady. Well, how many playoff games? He done played more playoff games And I done played in regular season games.
Half his career he's been playing in the Super Bowl.
That's unheard of.
Unreal,
That's
bro.
unheard of, bro. So the GOAT, man, and first, he's a
First ballot.
First ballot all day.
You think Gronk is? We were talking about that.
First ballot?
Yeah.
I think Gronk could be first ballot.
First? I was saying no, but then Puck looked up the number. He's like, yeah, he probably.
He's first ballot for sure.
It's pretty crazy. You start looking at the numbers. I mean, he's played in 100 less games than some guys, and you start looking at his numbers, and you're blown away about what he's put together. He's a 4-time All-Pro, and I just think, I don't know. I think if they win this week, I think regardless what happens.
He done.
I think he's done.
Yeah, he done. I agree.
I think he's walking away.
He done.
Got to have respect for somebody that can just get up and go, though.
I'm telling you.
That's the hardest thing for us to do.
He's going to make a killing after football.
Oh, he definitely going to make more after football than he did doing.
He on Hollywood. He gonna have to be. He gonna have to give him an
WWE,
XM show. All that
sure.
stuff.
He on all that.
Yep.
He gonna brand the mess out of himself.
How do you get the Atlanta Hawks turned around?
Zion.
Oh, is that the word here they're trying to tank for
we
him?
need Zion.
Zion and Trae Young.
Man.
Oh man.
Okay, now let me
tear it up.
You remember El DeBarge? You remember that
DeBarge?
musician back in the 80s?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was born in '87.
Well, I know, but you can still remember. You can go back and listen. You go back and see pictures of him.
I'd be having to go back to the 80s too, because that's all he's talking about.
Trae Young looks just like El DeBarge. That was going to be the point. Now, do you think who's going to be better in 10 years, Trae Young or Luka Doncic?
Luka Doncic. Who is that?
That's the guy they traded. The guy with the
Mavericks.
Mavericks.
With the Mavericks. Yeah, he nice.
They had a trade. Remember they had
he
a
like
trade.
number 71 or something?
Yes.
Oh, he nice.
Yeah.
Do
you remember they were traded on draft day for each other?
I think I'm.
Were they?
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah.
Trae Young, he be having like 30 assists a game. It's crazy.
They're both really nice players.
Yeah,
they are pretty solid. I don't know. That's a hard one to pick out of. To be honest,
they're different players.
Two different types of players, but the one that's honestly the ones that are less explosive that can shoot right now tend to have the longer careers because their bodies aren't necessarily as beat up.
Got crazy ranges, Trae Young.
They don't depend on their body like they're explosive as much.
Yeah, they don't have to.
Yeah.
So, and they learn early because the other guys have to kind of learn to become better shooters because they're not as explosive they were. So,
hey, Bruce, thanks for coming by.
Hey, thanks
I
for
really
having
appreciate
me.
that.
I need $57.26.
Purple sheet. Let's make it happen. Bruce drove from out of town. Let's make it happen.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up final segment. We'll crosstalk with Ian and wrap up a great week here live from Radio Row in Atlanta. Our coverage brought to you by Atlanta.